Okay, here we go on part two. We'll try to make this one better than the last one. This one goes to Gretchen, and Gretchen spoke about Walmart, and this was a compelling topic, and it's one that is in the news with somewhat of frequency. Your visuals are good, but they don't add anything to your speech. You sound you no, you're too bound to your notes to make eye contact. Don't get so bound that you can't look up and talk to me. Be careful of the kind of things when you're speaking. You have too many unsupported statements in your speech. You talk about eligible for free and reduced lunches as one of your unsupported statements. Where does that come from? What's your source of that? How widely spread is it, et cetera, et cetera. You got to give sources. You talk about Walmart facts and store employees. What are your sources on those things? You couldn't pronounce corporate behemoth, and you called it, what did you say? Behemoth. And you make statements where you say things like, we have just went over. Watch your grammar. This should have been the speech that was the capper of everything that you did all semester. Now, you had a very interesting topic. You introduced it clearly. You adopted the topic to the audience, and you somewhat established your credibility. You also reinforced your central ideas. You summarized your main points, and you moved to motivate the audience to a response. Remember, though, that when you do all of that, you have to support it, and that's what I'm talking about. You had a good bibliography and works cited. All right, moving on now to Roxy. Roxy spoke about volunteering, and Roxy, your speech was woefully short of the required time. You had no sources listed in your outline. Your speaker notes look more like PowerPoints, and it's hard to juggle a pet and your speech papers at the same time, as I hope you discovered. Don't shoot up into your face. That's a technique when you want to look down at your notes. So if the camera's down there, it doesn't look like you're moving your eyes too much. But if your notes are down here and the camera's up there, you see the effect. Do not shoot in almost eye level, the lens of the camera, eye level with your eyes. All right? You're reading your speech. That's just not acceptable. Stand still. Don't sway or bounce. You had the term Toys for Tots. Toys for Tots is a trademark term for the Marines. You want to be careful about that. You did kind of say it was included in that, but you want to be really specific. Don't cover age variety. Oh, you didn't cover the age variety of the volunteers. You need to bring that up too. And you talk about volunteer firefighters learn self-defense. I'm not sure I understand that. And you said volunteer firefighters get insurance discounts. Says who? What's your source for that kind of a thing? You waited way too long to establish your credibility, and the dog visual was superfluous, again, to what you were trying to do. Next up is dog. You talked appropriately about puppy mills. Your speech went over in terms of length. You need to know that before you start. What are the sources of many of your facts? And I put facts in quotation marks. When you say happy things in a speech, then look happy. Smile a little bit. Don't say, and 1 million kids were cured from polio last year. Hey, that's a happy thing. Be happy when you say it. Your face has got to convey your words. You fail to specifically cite your sources other than generically. And you talked about Bill, I think Rothbart of the Indianapolis Star, Indy Star, but you don't tell me who he is. He's a reporter? Okay, big deal. He's a reporter. He got a story in the newspaper. Does that make him an expert? No, it makes him a reporter. You need, this was a good and important speech too, by the way, and especially timely given the raid locally in the Bloomington area of a puppy mill 2 or 3 days ago. You need to work on flow and being conversational. You need to establish your credibility in this kind of a speech. Your voice is weak. Remember, be strong, finish strong, start strong. You need to do all of that. You sound at times like you're almost on the verge of crying. That's how thin your voice was at times. You say it was stripped of only a few provisions. I don't know what that means when you say a bill was stripped of only a few provisions. And also, as we already mentioned, you ran long in this speech. Next up is Blue. Blue spoke about health care. And Blue, you came close to running long. You didn't say, you did say, and okay way too much in this speech. You are somewhat conversational, but it's difficult at times to follow your reasoning. Your camera shot cuts off the top of your head throughout. There is disrupted flow in this speech. It's not smooth. You get lost in your own notes at times. What's your credibility in this situation? You're talking about health care, and I understand that you are with or without health care, but you got to establish your credibility from the get-go. There was way too much paper shuffling while you were speaking. You say multi-payer system, then you show a single-payer chart. Look at the speech. You're nothing run by the government is efficient. Look at TSA. How does that tie in with your topic? I'm having a real problem when you say nothing run by the government is efficient, and then say, for instance, look at the TSA. How does that have anything at all to do with healthcare? And also, again, what is your credibility in all of this? Okay, we're going to stop here, and we'll pick up.